Hello everyone, this is Elizabeth Caterin. You may also know me as Elkasaurus, and this is week 4 of learning to draw, and this is this is the cool week, guys. I know I subjected you to draw your pre-instruction drawings last week. I also, before we start, wanted to send a word of encouragement to those who really haven't, they're still wanting to do it. I get messages, I'm still interested, just the real world kind of got in the way. You know what, guys, we all live in a world of full-time jobs and kids and pets, and I completely understand. So the beauty of this course is that it is online. And it's not a lecture that you need to attend. It's not like when you were in college or in high school and you missed the class and then you're just out of luck. And this is not a formal class of any kind. So it's not like, ooh, you didn't hand in your assignment, you're getting a 0. No. You have the book, you have the videos, and the Facebook page isn't going anywhere. You have time to get caught up. Now, a lot of these exercises, we feel intimidated, we make excuses and go, oh my gosh, I don't have time. Well, you're really only supposed to spend like 15 minutes on each drawing. It's not an enormous time sink, so if you can sneak half an hour after the kids go to bed, that's more than enough time. So you do have time to get caught up. If you don't get caught up right away, it's not the end of the world. If you don't get caught up for a year, it's not the end of the world. I'm not going anywhere. These videos aren't going anywhere. So I don't want you to worry about it. Just get the work done and you'll be able to enjoy that. So this is week 4. This is where we actually start doing some of the exercises that are going to teach you how to draw. And this week is specifically about shifting over from the left mode, which is where we spend most of our day, into the right mode. And there's a very simple series of exercises that follow that. So I am going to demonstrate these for you. Now, I just want you to know I am speeding up the videos quite a bit. I'm speeding them up ×8. So if you see me like whipping through these drawings, guys, I don't actually draw that fast. No one in their right mind does if they want to do a good job. So the book begins with, just a quick little explanation of you have to experience what it's like to switch over to the right side of the brain so that later you can kind of do it on purpose at will. So the first exercise is the easiest exercise. It is the test exercise that you'll see on the website, and it's very, very easy. It's called the vase, vases and faces. You've seen the optical illusion where it's a picture of a vase. No, if you look at it a different way, it's a picture of 2 faces facing each other. What this is really going to teach is, first of all, we're going to draw a very, very simple profile. It's doing a piece of work that you can be proud of. And it's also going to teach us where exactly our ability to use language sort of falls off the map when we're drawing. So what we're going to do is just follow the instructions. Please do the vase first. Like, don't read the whole chapter and then come back and do the vase. Please do the exercise and then move forward. That's how I'm doing it for real in real life. And that's how I would like you to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy 1/2 of the vases faces illustration. All that means is just drawing a very, very simple profile. And if you're thinking, I don't know how to draw, all we're doing is forehead, nose, upper lip, lower lip, chin, and neck. Okay? So this doesn't have to be the most beautiful drawing in the world. It is one line. You can do it. So I am going to do it myself right now for you. Let me make sure my camera's focused. Okay. So I am just drawing a forehead, little dip for a nose, right? Lips, upper lip, lower lip, little dip, and then the chin, and just sort of trail it off, okay? An outstanding work of art? Not really, but that's what we're going to do. So as I'm drawing, I want to say this is the forehead, this is the eyes, this is the nose, this is the lip, upper lip, lower lip, chin, and neck. Now what you're going to do, you can use a ruler, you don't have to, it's fine if you don't have one handy. I happen to have one handy. Is just draw a line straight across, right? Okay. Good. Okay. While you are drawing, I want you to copy this over on the other side. While you are drawing, I want you to think forehead, nose, upper lip, lower lip, chin, and neck. And I want you to notice around when that starts to be a little hard for you to do. Go slowly, copy it as close as you can. It's not going to be perfect. We're not perfectionists here, okay? Just do it. It should really only take about 5 minutes. So, here I go. Wish me luck. All right, ready? Forehead. Nose. Okay, not entirely perfect there, is it? I'm not going to touch it up. So what happened? Most people, including myself, I just almost dropped my book, but including myself, around here, you're thinking, okay, this is the forehead, and you're thinking about drawing a forehead, and you're thinking about drawing an eyes, and then all of a sudden you get, I want to say around here, and you start thinking, hold on, this line needs to match this line, and the R mode starts to come out. And you stop thinking about nose, and you start thinking, wait a minute, where does this line go? And how is this supposed to be shaped? And you forget things like, well, this needs to be out this far in order for this to be a nose, and this needs to look like this in order to be lips. And the right side of the brain starts to take over, and you stop seeing this as a face that you're trying to reproduce, and you start seeing it as only a shape that you're trying to reproduce. What made this so particularly good, what makes it accent so specifically the right side of the brain, is that at the same time you were trying to think of the names of things, which is entirely in the left side of the brain. That's what specifically caused that confusion. And I want you to concentrate on that confusion, because getting to the point where you are only operating in the right brain mode is a huge key to drawing. So the next step is to learn to practice drawing in the right side of the brain. And one of the ways to do that is to do something that makes a drawing completely unrecognizable to the left side of the brain. So it just sort of gives up and shuts up and lets the right side of the brain take over. Notice that these drawings are upside down. Now this one, you might, after a few seconds, say, oh, wait, that's Albert Einstein. This one, most of us are just going to say, I don't know, it's a bunch of black squiggles. But actually, it's a famous painting by Tiepolo, The Death of Seneca. And if you turn her upside down, you easily see, okay, this is a pope, this is a religious guy, and this is a body. Okay, all of a sudden all of this makes sense, and obviously that's Albert Einstein. But when it's upside down, your brain can't even. It doesn't even try. It just sort of says, that's a bunch of black blobby shapes, and I'm not going to bother with it. So when we draw upside down, when we draw something from a resource that's upside down, the left side of the brain gives up on trying to do those annoying those symbols that make us bad drawers. It stops saying, oh, well, this is an eye, and an eye is oval-shaped, and this is a nose is a little circle, and this is a mouth is shaped like a football. Because it can't, because it's drawing from a reference that it doesn't recognize at all. So it just kind of shuts itself down. So the next drawing that we're going to do is we're just going to copy this Picasso portrait. Do not turn it right side up. That is the point of this, is to copy it from upside down. And what you're going to do is you're not going to try to fill it like this. Don't try to outline it. Just line for line, copy it as best as you can. You're going to be surprised at how accurate you are, because this is upside down. The left side of the brain can't recognize a shape, so it's going to just let the right side of the brain do what it can. Do your best to notice how lines are in relationship to each other, and do your best to just draw things as they actually are. This part's going to take me a while. It should take you half an hour to an hour. Take your time, do it slowly, do it right, and this part of the video is going to be sped up. Okay, so I've completed my upside down drawing, and I'm sorry, this is a little bit cut off, but you can see that I actually ran out of a little room a little bit. So I'm just going to flip them over, right? And while it may not be the greatest work of art that I've ever done, and it's not the greatest work of art that you've ever done, you'll notice that it's reasonably passable. And especially for beginner students, it's probably a lot better than anything you've ever done. Why did this work? Well, the whole reason that this worked is because your brain didn't know what it was drawing, because everything was upside down, number one. Number two, because Picasso doesn't use lines that are immediately recognizable as, oh, that's a finger, oh, that's a hand, oh, that's a face, oh, that's a nose. So the left side of the brain just sort of gives up and lets the right side of the brain do its thing. So you probably, while you were drawing this, experienced a really intense shift to the right side of the brain. what would have brought you back is when you got to the hands and you thought, oh, that's a hand. I need to draw it like a hand. That's not what hands look like. If you were able to go into full arm mode, you ignored the word hand and just drew the lines the way that they looked. Same thing with the face. So one really interesting example in the book that I want to hold up is the student just didn't understand her instructions and just copied the drawing over right side up and came up with this, which probably looks like most of our drawings before instruction. And she just looked at it, shook her head, said, no, sit down, do it again, do it upside down. And this is the student from the exact same student, upside down, drew immediately after. And that's the power of the right side of the brain. That's the difference between drawing things as they actually are instead of the way that the left side of the brain assumes they are. So, this is a great exercise for, this is a great exercise for learning what that right side feels like. And it's also a really good exercise to do something that you're, maybe is a little bit better than what you've done before. It's going to be a little bit farther along. So I want you this week, here's your assignment. I want you to do the vase exercise. Super important. I want you to do the Picasso exercise. And if you have time, I really want you, aside from all the reading, to copy Spider-Man and this Knight on a Horse, which I am also going to do. I will be posting my drawings. They're not going to be amazing, guys. I'm not concerned. And I don't want you to be concerned either. And it's going to be really cool. You're going to experience what those shifts start to feel like. And we're going to make some progress. All right, guys, get to drawing. I will see you again next week.